Hello, everyone. Hope you're well on this Sunday night. I'm going to talk about several things. I'm going to talk about at least one of my 2023 predictions is already coming true. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the something that a lot of people are talking about: the price of eggs, really food in general, dairy, and a lot of people are talking about eggs and chickens and that kind of stuff. I'm going to give you just my quick take on that. I have a really cool winter prep item that I want you to see. We're still squarely in winter, so you don't want to miss that. A quick reminder from Mrs. Dawg and a passage that I'm going to share towards the end that's really good. So stay tuned. I got a lot to unpack here, so I'll get at it. First, real quick, we were at Kroger today getting some things and noticed a change there that there are only 4 checkout lanes now, to where the traditional checkout lanes that have a cashier, and if you're lucky, somebody there to bag the groceries. Like I said, 4 checkout lanes. Everything else self checkout. So we walked our happy behinds up to one of the 4 checkouts because we had more than just a few items. So I'm not going to do it myself. So I don't work for them, right? So we got in one of the 4 lanes and went through, and it has a cashier. Nobody was there to bag, so Mrs. Dawg was bagging. I watched the prices and everything getting ringed up and all that stuff, and pay and all that kind of stuff. So it's teamwork. But I thought that was interesting. That is the trend, though. Uh, Notice that gasoline is inching up more here. It's up to about 3.20 a gallon now here. Is it going up where you live? At least one of my predictions for 2023 is already coming true. We're not even done with January. Rising crime, the continued rise of crime we're seeing already. 2 nights ago, or it might have been last night, actually, Saturday night. Atlanta, of course, Atlanta is in the news. Riots, they started out as protesting, of course, the way it happens, and then it devolved into riots. There was at least one cop car burned. You might have seen it on the news, that the state media is showing you. It said that there were rioters that had fireworks, and they call them explosives, but I don't know how sophisticated they were. Said that police arrested 6 people. 6 people? So only 6 people were doing all this damage? I doubt it. I wonder if they're still being held. Probably already out. Or probably already released, but I hope not. So Atlanta, craziness going on there. Not too surprising though. And then I saw this morning, LA County in California, Monterey Park, a shooting at a party or dance or something like that. It sounded like a New Year party type dance where a man walked in and just opened fire. 10 people lost their lives. A shame, and probably double that. It sounded like at least 10 wounded. Senseless. Here are people having a party and this happens. But it's pretty common nowadays, isn't it? It's like we're desensitized to it. Continued chaos in 2023. And those are just the ones you hear about on the state media. I call them the state-run media now. Fox News is included in that bunch. They are too. They get the memos. Self-defense, security is something we increasingly need to be thinking about, y'all. Seriously. Whatever you can do. That means you're home. That means when you're going out. You know what I mean? I'm surprised we still have police. We still have people that want to be police officers. My concern is we will have no cops one day. There'll be a day come when you call 911 and nobody comes. Be lucky if an ambulance may come. Maybe. If they're not on strike or done. That day is coming, y'all. It is coming. We need to prepare the best we can. I believe we're going to see a time in our lifetimes, maybe soon, where you have true without rule of law, WROL. And that is when the real nightmare could begin. It really could at that point, when the police have just thrown up their hands and they're done and you're on your own. I mean, we're pretty much there already. If you think about it, I mean, really think about it. So that's one thing. Continued price increases is another thing that a lot of people, and I predict, and a lot of people are predicting, as well. But real quick before that, Mrs. Dawg, quick reminder, she's like, remind them, and I've been talking about it some, but garden plan, get your supplies, seeds, even if it's raised beds, depending on where you live, they could differ. Not everybody has the room, the yard, or whatever to do even raised beds. So if you're in an apartment or something like that, if you have a space outside where you could put a couple of pots, even just one pot, tomatoes, potatoes, something like that, anything can help. A start. So now is a good time to get on that, y'all. Okay. Eggs, dairy, people are freaking out. It's like a great awakening where the ones who are in a slumber are trying to buy eggs now and flipping out on social media, in the stores. Welcome to the party. We've been there for a while. But anyway, it is a shock. It's a shock to us too, But I think we're just being fleeced beyond recognition. I mean, and when I say that, I think price gouging, and it's hard to know who's the real culprit here. Is it the big? It's not the farmers. I don't believe it's the farmers. Is it these big conglomerate food producer, supplier? I'm not sure. I did see a little article that talked about there's a farm group that is trying to get the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, to look into price gouging, especially with eggs. But I mean, can they just include everything else on that too? I mean, everything else is going way up. I know eggs are one of those that everybody's talking about. I mean, it said that eggs have gone up 138% just in December, year over year. I can imagine. I mean, these companies have to be making record profits, man. I mean, really, it's got to be gouging. It's criminal. It should be criminal. It really should be. But what can you do? They can say supply and demand. I mean, there are other, Ms. Dawg was talking about this earlier, there are egg substitutes. There are, we don't eat a lot of eggs here, and not everybody can get a chicken or chickens, depending on where you live. Yeah, if you have a homestead, if you have land, a way to protect them from predators, the time to do this. Where we live in it's a small neighborhood. We would have to really put some things in place, a big, or at least a enclosed privacy fence to protect them, a coop, and even other than that, the time factor involved, as well. We both work full time. We don't eat a lot of eggs though. I mean, I know there are advantages to just getting a couple of them. I get it, but not everybody can do that. If you're in an apartment, condo, whatever, or depending on your situation, it's not always possible. So that's just my thoughts on that. That's my take. Okay. Winter prep item, y'all. I was excited about this. I got this not long ago. Mrs. Dawg ordered it for me. Now, I saw this idea on Cold War Prepper, had this. He mentioned this and showed this. It's called, we're still in winter now, especially most of North America and Europe. We're squarely in winter. It's cold. So even here in Georgia, it gets a little cold. It gets cold, but it looks like a knit beanie, a knit hat, but it is 100% wool. This thing, you put this on your head, it's a big difference from just your average little hat, okay? But this is what they call a watch cap. Like I said, Cold War Prepper clued me in on this one. But you can order this off Amazon or, probably other places too online, but get the one that has that seal. It's actually made, I don't know if it'll read correctly, if you can see that or not, but it's called a watch cap, genuine government issue. It's 100% wool, and it is, like I said, made in the USA. So the real deal. It was not that expensive. I mean, I think when we ordered it online, I think it was less than $10. I mean, I think it was like $8-9. So cheaper than what you can buy in the stores, and they're knit, So wanted to pass that. I just wanted to share that. I have no affiliation with that. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Okay. Okay. What else? I think I've checked off everything on the list. Passage. Really good passage to share with you guys from the book of Romans. Romans chapter 10, verses 9 and 10 say, if you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For it is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. Amen. That's pretty plain and simple. That's pretty cut and dry. I think, I've mentioned this before, I'm sure, but as best we can to spend time around other believers, and even if it's just a small group or a couple of you, but I think that's key. Keep reading passages, the Bible, study Bible studies, pray, and when you get a chance, share your faith. Share your faith with other believers. It doesn't have to be an atheist or something like that. If you have a chance and you don't have to get super complicated about it. Just explain your faith, or just, hey, I have faith. You don't have to get too crazy with it at all. Like I said, even other believers, and bolster their faith. We all have times when it's low, right? We're human. So just something to think about. I hope that helps. Share your thoughts. Let's be safe out there. We're about to start a new week. Let's keep aware. God bless you. I'll see you soon.